children of the night. What music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you with it.
Welcome to Final Guys, where tonight, along with a round-robin discussion on what we watched this week, we'll be discussing the Shudder original Black Cab. And Jack is not here because we told him last week that we're filming on Wednesday nights now, so this is our secret meeting without him. We were tired of the urine-stained walls and the filter, so we said, hey, either get a new place to film from or you're out of here.
I think next week we're going to have a new background.
We'll see.
I think this has been like the most longest threatened move in history.
I will never forget when he got that new computer with the new webcam, and I was like, "Wait, your room doesn't look like piss." That blew me away.
The old piss patina.
So tonight, as always, unfortunately, we still have Jason Ambiguous Frost Brandt.
Yo.
Hunter Rusty Pancakes Shea.
I couldn't think of anything else. Just came to mind.
Rusty Pancake. And myself, Chad, tased and confused Lutsky. And my greasy hair.
Yeah, what's going on there, man?
Yeah, right?
You should take a shower, dude.
That's all right, man. I think it looks kind of cool. All right, so we've got some drinking. Let's get to those before we forget.
All right. The drinking words, courtesy of Sheridan Bradford, are... For Jack, we should tell him at some point when we know somebody's not going to be in here, but we never do.
No.
So Jack's words are for all of us. Pacing, haunted, and third. If Hunter says last, taxi or couple take a drink. If I say Nick, taser, or act. If Letsky says driver, like, or Tubi. Or if any of us say Todd, Frost, and Ghost.
Oh.
Frost. Oh, Nick for Jesus.
Wow.
By the way, I kept calling him Jack Frost. So
3 goddamn people in the movie. I forgot one.
Yeah, really. It's bad.
And your name is Frost.
Dude, it's been a long week.
Yeah.
But he's ambiguous, as we've known for years.
All right. So if do you guys have any cool announcements? Anything awesome to share with us?
No, I don't do anything interesting.
You're not taking the pumpkins down anytime soon?
You know, that was the plan early this week, and didn't happen.
Just too much. I get it.
Didn't happen. Honestly, they might be here till next Halloween at the rate I'm going.
Yeah, why not? Well, now they're autumnal.
Yeah, exactly. They're not jack-o'-lanterns. It's just Halloween, or, autumnal decor.
Autumnal. Ooh. That's not a word they learned up in the mountains. That's when he came down the mountain.
I first heard that word like 2 years ago. Legitimately.
There we go.
I thought it was a made-up word.
Point proven.
I'm smart.
All right. Well, if there's none of that, then let's talk to our national horror scab news anchor, Hunter Shea.
It's the news. Yay.
That's right. I crossed the picket line. Coming to you from the old gray lady, all the news that you've ever wanted to hear on a sheet of paper.
Wow.
Which I'll save this piece of paper for the next time I ever have to do the news. So, we're going to kick things off with a moment of silence for the passing of the horror legend Tony Todd.
Mm-hmm.
60, what did he say? He was 69?
69, which is
69.
wild.
That's young, man.
Yeah.
It is nowadays, right?
Yeah, that's awful.
I mean, look, he is Candyman. He did a great job in Hatchet. I loved his character in Hatchet.
Night of the Living Dead.
I was going to say Night of the Living Dead, the 90 remake. The Crow he was in.
The Crow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was. I forgot about that.
And here's one I forgot too. Platoon.
Oh, shit, man. He was in a lot of stuff.
His IMDb page goes on forever. and the amount of projects he was doing in the last few years. I mean, it's like 15 projects in a year between voiceover work and acting and stuff. So supposedly he had it was a long illness that took him from us. But
have you guys ever seen that YouTube show, horror YouTube show by the director of Hatchet? I can't remember the dude's name. I think his name might be Adam.
Adam Green.
Yeah. Well, he's got a YouTube show where he invites people like Felissa Rose and Tony Todd, and they stay the night in their pajamas.
I have seen that, yeah.
Okay. Well, there's an episode of Tony Todd that, oh my gosh, Tony, it had me in tears because dude is crying on there because he's talking about his brother who died and the story behind that. And Tony Todd it's hard to watch, man, but it's really cool. So if you're looking for something outside of horror and you want to see like what kind of person he was, it's super touching. But still in his element with the all the horror stuff.
Yeah,
I'll check that out. I forgot about that show.
Every now and then, I'm in need of a good cry. So, other than when we do this show,
we got Hightower in the chat.
Laurel.
Oh,
how
boy.
are you?
I can hear fucks in the distance.
Fuck. This piece of news, actually, Jack said to bring this up. And this is a good one. We all know that Eggers has that Nosferatu remake that's coming out soon. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you know that there is going to be a perfume inspired by the movie Nosferatu?
What?
Yes. Let me read this. It's Eau de Macabre perfume that invokes an uneasy chill of encountering an apparition.
But that's got to be one of the weirdest tie-ins I've ever heard for a movie.
Yeah. Well, Heretic Parfum founder Douglas Little, he concocted the custom scent, also called Nosferatu, through a scientific process that involved viewing the film, historical research, and time period understanding. The result is one that answers the age-old question that's long haunted historians. What does a vampire smell like?
Cedarwood, grave dirt, and rat feces?
I would... You know what? The rat feces? You're probably right about that one.
I feel like Jack should have this with his vampire obsession.
Yeah.
Well, I am. It is perfume, though. So I need Jack to get a Mrs. Jack. And maybe
but then he can gift it to his favorite Asian masseuse that he frequents.
Wait, is Steve Barnard here? I mean, it is holiday season's coming up. And I think we all want our old ladies to smell like a half-dead corpse that wanders the night.
No, thank you.
Covered in blood.
Thank you.
That is weird.
That's a no sale?
That is really strange, man. Like, I'm a weird dude, but damn.
I want to see the commercial for that and see if it equals the hilarity of Johnny Depp's Sauvage or whatever. Where he's digging in the desert. That is one of my favorite. All right. This is kind of horror, but it's big news. The new Dune series is going to be premiering on Max any day now. I think it's going to be on the 17th. So, Jason, I know you don't like prequels.
Nope.
This is a hell of a prequel because it's set 10,000 years before the events of Dune, where sisters Valia and Tula Harkonnen combat forces that threaten the future of humanity. But how much of a threat can it be? Because it happened 10,000 years ago when humanity was still around.
Is the movie series done? I still haven't seen the second one because it's so long. I haven't gotten to watch it yet.
The second is phenomenal.
Is it done? Are they making another one?
There has to be a third because it kind of ends on a little cliffhangery.
Huh. So they're doing a prequel series at the same time the movie series is happening?
Yeah. They're striking while the iron's hot.
Have they announced a third part? I know nothing. I have not paid attention at all.
I don't think they've announced a third part, but there has to be a third part.
Okay. Someone in the chat, let us know what's going on with that. I haven't paid attention.
I haven't seen any of them, except for the David Lynch one when it was new.
Well, you can catch Dune 1 on Max. I don't know if 2's out there. Yeah.
I loved the first one.
If you love the first one, you'll plots over the second.
All right.
It's better. And I was lucky because I watched 1, and then the next day I went to see 2. So it was a really cool weekend.
Nice.
Okay. Last piece of news. Who likes 90s teen horror? I know, Chad, that's like your sweet spot.
Oh, no, not at all.
Scream was good.
Well, I got a movie that's way better that doesn't get talked about enough. Guys, remember Idle Hands?
Yeah, not bad.
I have a copy of it, actually. I know I watched it in the 90s. I just don't remember anything.
Well, glug glug.
Sure.
A little too much of that.
I think that's most of my problem.
Only 11, Jason. What are you doing? Well, Idle Hands is being remade, and it's going to be written by Finn Wolfhard, who will also possibly co-direct it.
Is that the kid from Stranger Things?
Stranger Things kid, that's right. And Jason Reitman is also slated to produce it and maybe co-direct it. There's a lot of stuff up in the air right now.
How does that happen? Do they have to make him some offer to get him in the next Ghostbusters or something?
Well, he supposedly, well, not supposedly, definitely, he directed a horror movie called Hell of a Summer that's going to be released next year. So he's already in the meat grinder of horror directing.
Huh.
So this is his next step.
He's still pretty young, right?
I don't know. I assume they're all like 40 at this point.
He's 47 years old.
It feels like forever. I'm
Gotta
sure
be
he's in
early
his
20s?
Early mid-20s, probably. Yeah.
Wow, man, we're old. Jesus.
Because the first Stranger Things came out in what, 2016? That's 8 years ago.
I have no idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the hell's the last season of that coming out, by the way?
Next year.
Jesus, did they drag that out?
I had still yet to watch. Remember, they broke up the last season and they did like 2. I never watched the other 2. I'll get to it.
I haven't seen almost all of the last season. What was that? Is that season 3?
Yes.
3 or 4? I don't even remember.
The one where their episodes are like an hour, 2 hours. I haven't seen. I think I saw part of the first one.
It gets indulgent.
By the way, Finn Wolfhard is 21.
And writing and directing films. Jesus.
He's in a band too.
He's
in a band too. Yeah, I saw a video a couple years ago. A couple of those guys are in bands, good bands.
It's like, can these rich and famous people just leave stuff alone? Let other people get a shot. Next, he'll be writing a children's book, then some other book, and they'll have a podcast and just rob us all, us little people. Well, anyway.
Tell us how to vote.
If I have something break through, I'm not throwing you little people a bone at all.
Yeah, we know that.
Stepping right off your head to get to my children's book deal.
We're fully aware.
Okay, just making sure.
So, yeah, if they want to kind of revive the teen horror flick and be kind of faithful to the way Idle Hands kind of grabbed people back in the day. So we'll see.
All right, sure.
I mean, I really like the original.
I have no recollection.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the news that's fit to print.
Right on. All right, let's move on to what we watched this week.
We have such sights to show you.
Jason, what you got, man?
What the hell?
I was so glad you didn't pick me first because I can't remember.
Oh, okay. I had to look. I wasn't super happy with anything this week, so it's not deep in my mind. So I finally got around to one I've been saving called Blink Twice with Channing Tatum.
Oh, yeah. Jack saw that. He's talked about it a few weeks ago.
I don't remember that at all, but I never listened to him, so that's fine.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, so some tech billionaire does something and he has to give up control of his company and he buys an island and kind of disappears from public life. And our main character, who is a like a restaurant server. She kind of hooks up with him, and he invites her to his private island to hang out with a bunch of other rich people and do a bunch of drugs and party and just be heathens in general.
Have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't turn that down. And as we get there, of course, weird shit is happening on the island, and she's just kind of getting a strange vibe from things, but it's not keeping her from getting absolutely blackout drunk and taking random drugs they're giving her from droppers. But, she's like, hey, I don't know about this. Let's get wasted. I did not know until this was over that this was directed by Zoe Kravitz, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah. And I will tell you this. She has a really good eye for direction. This movie looks great. It flows well. This is really well directed. The problem is the story is just basically garbage. It's when you find out what it is, you're like, oh, this is like a Twitter feminist argument movie. It's not like Black Christmas bad and like how over the top it is. But when you find out exactly what the plot is, you're like, are you kidding me? Like, I thought we were getting past this crap. But
I
apparently
think Jack has this on his list. I'm kidding.
Dude, the story is bad. Like, bad. And the very end, like the last shot, the words that come out of someone's mouth, I was like, dude, that is so fucking cringy. Like, are you kidding me with this? Like, come on, Hollywood. But beyond all that, it is very well directed. So she knows what she's doing. Maybe have somebody else come up with the movie idea. Somebody who's not like mega political and just wants to tell a cool story.
Yeah,
fun.
or at least be subtle with your agenda.
This is so not subtle. It's hysterical. There's something when you see one of the main characters. I'm not even gonna say what it is because anything I say could could ruin the twist. But my wife saw one of the characters and was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Oh, this could be a bad sign." It was. It was. Yeah. So the twist hits and you're just like, "Oh my god!" But it looks good and good performances. It was very well done. Just a dumb story.
I like J Max said Diddy's White Party, the movie.
Yes.
I'll interrupt this because I was talking to one of my oldest friends, and we went to high school together. We went to school with Diddy, and he recalled my friend used to be like kind of like the bodyguard security whenever we had dances back in the day. Catholic schools would have these dances, and then there'd always be fights because other schools would come at night and just everyone beat each other up. So there was one time he's there and he hears commotion going on. He goes to investigate, and there is a muscular little person and Sean Combs trying to break into a part of the school where you're not supposed to belong. And my friend ended up tussling with the muscular dwarf and throwing him in a garbage can, like a big refuse can, and then nearly knocking Diddy out. And then going
wow,
to, like patrol the dance.
Muscular dwarf, isn't that a redundancy?
You know what? I thought I heard also that he likes having little people at his parties as kind of like props. So
I don't know.
I think maybe we can confirm it started way back when.
It would have been great if he just knocked him out then and saved all of us.
He could have changed the world with one punch.
Yeah.
Just
and my friend's enormous too. Back in the day.
All right.
So missed opportunity.
All right. Other than watching a bunch of probably what sounds like Sean Puppy Combs P. Diddy videos, did you watch anything else this week?
Oh God. So I knew this movie was gonna suck, but I went for it anyway. Amityville Bigfoot.
I have a copy of this.
Oh boy.
Burn it. Burn it.
Yeah.
I was watching this and said, would this be amusing if I was here alone drunk? No. Would this be amusing if I was here with friends drunk? No.
Ooh.
It's so bad it's bad.
Is that Eric Roberts?
Eric Roberts does show up in this movie. Like
Eric Roberts even save it, huh? I love
He's
Eric
never
Roberts.
said no. I don't think he's ever said no.
He's awesome. He couldn't save it, huh?
Oh God Almighty! This is the most unsavable piece of shit I've watched in a
Look
long
how
time,
Look how blown out the lighting is.
dude. Everything is bad. It's first of all, see that grubby cabin? That's supposedly like this lab where they're like doing these experiments and real science
What?
stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, there's a Bigfoot in the lab, and they were experimenting on it, and the Bigfoot gets out. Now, this guy, this Kevin Smith lookalike guy, he's shooting a Bigfoot movie nearby at the same time. And the best part is they're talking about the party store where they got the Bigfoot costume for the film. That looks a little better than the actual Bigfoot that's roaming around killing people. I mean, they're both terrible. That's some of the worst gorilla costumes you're ever going to see. I can't think of a single redeeming quality in this movie. There's a lot of non-PC stuff, like jokes they're trying to throw out there that aren't very good. And there's a lot of talk about sex, but nobody takes their clothes off and nobody bangs. I don't understand what the point of this movie is. I thought maybe Bigfoot would be wandering around the Amityville house. No, it's the Amityville Chemical Company.
Oh God.
So it's on Tubi. I would suggest you don't watch it. Or maybe it's better than Amityville Toilet or Amityville Karen. But I think the team that did Amityville Karen also did this.
Do you know what Amityville Karen, besides the obvious, do you know what Amityville Karen, Amityville Bigfoot, Amityville Death Toilet, and Amityville Backpack all have in common?
Amityville Backpack.
They have absolutely amazing posters.
Oh,
Like,
Is it
really, really
the poster
good
for
posters.
Amityville Bigfoot is what drew me in.
Yeah,
Like
they're
an idiot.
all phenomenal.
is it the same guy?
It looks like it might be because they're freaking great.
I think it was done by Chad, and he just doesn't want to say it. That's all right. Your secret's safe with us. A buck's a buck.
Amityville Karen, Amityville Shark House, Amityville Bigfoot, same director.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's probably got the same artist. But yeah, Backpack and Death Toilet, great art.
Sean C. Phillips.
Don't be
Cranking out
fooled
Amityville
by the
Bigfoot.
art. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
I've turned on the Amityville Backpack, as I talked about last week, I think, and then I also turned on the Amityville Death Toilet, and they're like worse than bad. I mean, they're just the humor in them is so silly that you can't last more than 90 seconds. It's just they're bad
Yeah. Well,
right off
some
the bat.
people like these bad movies too, but only if they're so bad. They might actually be good.
Wow.
But
I
dude,
like-
I don't
take
think
your
that,
copy and get rid of
that Jason and his buddies would appreciate the two that I saw the beginnings of. I don't think they would like them.
nor this one.
Well, I do occasionally like to torture them, so you never know.
Well, pick
Yeah,
one of
but
those,
this-
man, because
You got to torture yourself in the process.
Oh, I have to edit it. Like, it's 10 times worse for me,
Yeah.
but I still like to torture them.
You'll put more effort into the movie than the director and everybody else put
Wow.
into that movie. But if you're going to talk about sex all the time, get the clothes off. I don't care. Everybody. I want to see boobies, butts, front fannies.
It's the easiest way to make one of these movies entertaining. Just get a stripper and have her get topless at some point in the movie, and at least someone will remember something from the
Yeah. That's the old trauma way. He used to get the strippers and the
Yeah.
fledgling porn stars and
Yeah, I don't remember who said it, but it's basically a special effect. If you put boobs in your movie, it's the equivalent of putting a special effect in.
Corman
sounds
probably.
like Roger Corman.
Probably.
Two
All right.
boobs in every reel.
Or Wynorski or something like that.
Yes.
Speaking of Corman, while this movie is not a Corman movie, it absolutely feels like it. Over on Tubi, there's a movie I've always wanted to see because the Misfits named one of their most popular songs after it, and we all know I'm a tremendously huge Misfits fan. So now was the time to finally watch the Astro Zombies, starring John Carradine, and Tura Satana from Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, hot Asian chick.
Nice.
Written and directed by Ted V. Michaels, who produced such great hits as Blood Orgy of the She-Devils, Corpse Grinders, The Worm Eaters, and one of Hunter's favorites, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things.
Oh, I love that movie so much.
This is Corman through and through, but I'll give you the IMDb synopsis. Having been fired from the space agency, a disgruntled scientist, which is Carradine, creates superhuman monsters from the body parts of murder victims. The creatures eventually escape and go on a killing spree, attracting the attention of both an international spy ring and the CIA. So,
What?
yeah, and that Satana chick right there is pretty much the lead of the international spy ring.
She looks sexy.
There are some pretty girls in here. I don't know why they're called creatures. They're basically humans with like really, really bad masks made of like metal components and stuff. But yeah, I guess they're calling them creatures. But Carradine, he works with the most jank kids science fair project technology you've ever seen in a movie made for adults. There's even one of those transparent plastic models of the human body, which is shown by itself no less than 8 times throughout the movie. It's bad. There's the one of the Astro Zombies right there.
God,
That looks awesome. That's a great mask.
What's funny is how much screen time this technology gets. You could tell someone was struggling to stretch the screen time out. Probably why they also included this full 3-minute psychedelic body paint dancing in a club, which is becoming a theme for some of these 60s and 70s movies that I watch. These gritty things where it's just like, man, we got to throw some music in here. We got to throw some TNA in here. Just dancing around. Doesn't matter if one boob is size A, one's double D. Just get them in there. If one's got a hairy
Are there
mole
people
on-
that lopsided?
Nah, I don't
Amazing.
know. I don't know. But if you got patience and you got a good buddy, then put it on. But this movie felt like 3 hours. I could not believe how long this thing was going on and on and on.
That's how I
It's
felt that way
just-
with Amityville Bigfoot. It was only an hour and 20-something minutes, but I thought it was on my
This is an
television all
hour and
afternoon.
32, and it really felt twice that. So
And from 1968, I see you still have only made it 1 week of watching new movies to fill out your list.
Yeah, that promise is gone.
You said that in October and have not done it since.
I know. Well, this is the only movie that I've got this week, and so it's because I've just been busy with other stuff.
Your top 13 list is going to be 3. You say,
yeah.
drop the 1 off.
It's going to be a bunch of junk that I don't like, probably. So yeah, that's it for me for this week. Jason, you've got something else, don't you?
Yes, I watched a movie called Deer. That was a Deer Hunt. What the hell was this called? Deer Camp 86. Which
Sounds like a war movie.
I just went on Amazon. I was like, you know what? I haven't been on Amazon Prime to watch a movie, and I couldn't even tell you the last time. So let's see what it is. And this was the first or second movie recommended in the horror list. So I thought, what the hell? Let's check it out. That was a mistake on my part.
There's nothing good coming out of this show tonight.
No, I have
all
nothing to recommend. This isn't awful. The problem is, okay, so it's a group of obnoxious friends who are going hunting at a cabin in the woods in 1986. And on their way up there, they go to a bar, and one guy's hitting on the attractive Native American bartender, and then she gets killed. And when that happens, some supernatural stuff starts to happen in the woods, and they start seeing and hearing crazy things. It's not, I wouldn't say it's poorly made by any stretch. It's just a lot of douchebag humor. And I don't know if because I, myself, am a connoisseur of douchebag humor, it didn't land with me the way I wanted, or it wasn't as douchey as I expected. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say, I myself am a douchebag.
I mean, I am. My humor is douchebag humor. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
But this just...
Here.
this just didn't. The humor didn't land with me. And when 75% of your movie is just character shit talking, and you don't find it funny, you're not going to like the movie.
See,
If you like the humor in this, you actually will probably like this a lot, because there's one character in particular who doesn't shut up, who does not stop drinking. He's like the Dave of the movie. But maybe I'm around Dave too much. So when I see him in a movie, I'm like, no, that's too much Dave.
DNF.
And then towards the end, it kind of just becomes Predator for a while. And I like Predator, but I don't know. This should have landed with me better than it did. It's got a 5.6 on IMDb, so I might be alone.
Pretty high for like that.
For a Prime Video horror film. That's pretty high. And I was just, and I think it's just the humor. It wasn't like there was anything horrible about the movie or anything like that. It just, yeah.
For a man who has called himself the douche for as long as I've known you, to say that this douche humor gets no douche thumbs up.
I don't think
they missed the mark.
There's levels to douchery, and I feel like this was like bottom of the rung douchery. You've got to up your game more.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, so there was one thing they said. I won't ruin it. There's one line in it that actually did make me laugh out loud. The rest of it, I was just like, Here, see, Totes gets it. He says, I'm a high-end douchebag. Exactly.
Yes, you only douche the finest vaginas.
I'm at the top of the ladder of douchebags. This was like first or second rung. So it was okay. I don't know. I don't even know how to recommend this to people or tell them to stay away, because when it comes to bad humor, like I have zero tolerance for humor I don't find funny. So it's hard for me to say what other people will like when it comes to stuff like this.
Well, anyone listening to this is not going to be running to Amazon anytime soon.
Well, it's free, so maybe Letsky will get over there.
No, I'm not watching this.
You're going to have to put it in the 70s.
That's true. It's too new.
Yeah, it has no shot.
Deer Camp 76.
They did shoot a little bit of the movie, quote unquote, with a camcorder. And when I saw the VHS effect that was on it, there was a couple of effects on it that I thought, like a couple artifacts on it. That might be the plug-in I use to put VHS effects on So Bad It's Good. I was like,
Possibly.
I think I see what you're doing here.
Oh, my.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
There you go.
All right.
All right, Connor, what do you got, man?
I'm going to try to end things on a more upbeat note.
Good.
Boy, this has been down. But then again, sometimes we just put our bodies on the grenades. We take the hit. We take the shit. Got to do that later. We take the hit for you, so you don't have to do it. This is a movie. Last week, one of the who was it in the chat who was giving us money? I forget his name.
Joshua, probably.
So he had suggested, had any of us like horror noir movies?
Yeah.
And he said one of them was
Anal noir, specifically.
Exactly. There's plenty of anal noir definitely on Pornhub. But I checked this movie out called Cast a Deadly Spell with Fred Ward, Julianne Moore, Clancy Brown, one of the guys from The Thing. It's like you see this movie and you see all these faces that you go, I know who that is. But I just
Look
don't
at the
know their
director.
name.
It's freaking Martin Campbell. I didn't realize this.
Yeah,
He
and
did
Gail Ann
Goldeneye.
Hurd produced it.
Wow. I almost watched this. I wish I had.
It's set in the 40s where everybody uses magic. So it's got a 40s look and feel, but then, if somebody wants something, shit's flying in the air to get into their hand and stuff. And it's a world. Oh, by the way, do you think that's a lady? It's
No,
a world.
No, I did not think that.
It's a world populated by anything goes. So there's a mechanic fighting gremlins. Hold on, I got a cough. I'm going to hit.
There they are, the Venetian blinds.
Oh yeah, there's lots of Venetian blinds. There's lots of dames. Julianne Moore is she's so young in this. She is drop dead gorgeous. Clancy Brown's the usual, bad guy dick. But there's like one point they're fighting gremlins this mechanic is fighting gremlins, and I think he's talking to Fred Ward, who's the PI, the hardened PI, and it's really funny. Cool puppets. There's vampires. There's werewolves.
Wow.
There's so much stuff. And by the way, Fred Ward, his name is Lovecraft.
Oh, that's on the nose.
Yeah. Oh, well, it also gets to this magic book that's been stolen and is going to be used to call forth the elder gods.
Okay.
So there's the kitchen sink, the lead pipes under the house, the sewage pipes, everything is thrown into this movie. Does it always work? No. There are parts in this movie that really drag. And then something cool will pop up and you're back in it again. So this is kind of ebb and flow. But I think for sheer originality, there's some pretty good star power in this movie. There's some big people behind it. It's really worth a watch to see what they were going for. I really appreciate the fact that this movie got made. I don't think it would get made now. If it did, it would be by the same people who brought you Amityville Bigfoot. It would be a total piece of garbage. But I think that they were really earnest in trying to do what they were doing. And I like the mashup of the noir and the horror. So now I got to find more stuff like this.
Greg's got a question about it. He's wanting to know if this is the movie where they find a gun from our dimension and they're amazed by it.
Star gun? No. Unless I zoned out. I don't remember anything like that.
All right.
There's a possibility I might have zoned out. It was.
I almost watched this. Now I wish I had. This sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, I think it was on Tubi. So even better.
All right. I'm going to check
By the
it out.
way, I like Tubi breaks now. I like the commercial break. Oh, now I can pee. Now I can go get a snack. It's like it gives you that permission.
Go
You
take
know,
a diabetic piss.
It smells like insulin and despair. By the way, insulin smells like my grandparents' apartment in the Bronx back in the 70s.
Oh, that's great.
It's a very specific smell.
He actually recommended another movie called Witch Hunt with Dennis Hopper.
Witch Hunt.
Love Dennis Hopper.
It's an HBO fantasy detective television film. So,
all right. That is now on my list.
Thanks, Joshua. And I don't think you're here, but thanks.
Yeah. You're going to hear it later and hear our appreciation. The fact that we actually listen to you. We don't listen to each other.
Correct.
But we listen to you.
Correct.
Because you gave us money.
Correct.
We don't give each other money, so that's why we just go, no, whatever you said.
Yep.
So that's all I got.
That's all you got. What about yourself, Jason?
Tapped.
All right. That being said, insulin does smell like Band-Aids.
Oh, yeah. I can see
It
that.
does. All right. Let's get on to the main feature.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Jason, do you want to synopsize this for us?
You did so well last time, Jason.
Black Cab.
All right. A woman and two of her friends and her douchebag boyfriend are having dinner. And you know what? I shouldn't say douchebag. Asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
No redeeming qualities.
Different league.
Yeah, not even funny. They're having dinner and they are leaving. They're fighting. And they get picked up by a cab, a black cab, you could say, driven by Nick Frost, who I'm not even certain how he fits behind the wheel. It is a tight space, and he
Every
is
pound
large.
John Goodman has lost, Nick Frost is found.
And he is in a small vehicle. Like it is, he has hit Russell Crowe proportions in this movie. It is wild. And they go for a ride home, and it turns out Nick Frost has other plans for them, and weird shit happens.
Only on Shudder.
And Jason, so what did you think of Black Cab?
I actually liked the first half quite a bit. I thought Nick Frost did a great job with the dialogue when they first get in the cab and they're getting to know each other. And the guy's an asshole, and Frost is just giving him the business. I thought all of that stuff was interesting. Then there's some other elements with a woman she's seeing appear. I liked all that stuff. And then the more the story went, the less I liked it. They get to a motel at one point. It was like, I don't really know why the main character is doing anything she's doing. The story's not making a lot of sense. And then the more it's explained, the less I understood until the ending when I had absolutely no clue what had happened in this movie. So, probably a no from me. But I didn't hate it. I just hated the ending. So I thought all the actors did a good job. Just at the end, if I don't like your story, it's hard for me to recommend a movie.
You're not alone there. I actually did some research on this, and a lot of people are wondering what it's an ambiguous kind of ending, and you either like them or you don't. And there are levels, just like there are levels of douchery. There's levels of ambiguity.
Yeah, like you can give me, hey, maybe this happened or maybe this happened, and I'm like, oh, okay. This was like, I don't know what happened. It ended. I was like, what? What?
Yeah.
So
Hunter.
So I watched this. I can't believe last night. I don't know what we watched, but just doing nothing or hanging around the house, and I wake up this morning. And go, oh crap! I got to watch Black Cab. So I completely forgot. I watch this in the worst way you can watch a movie because I work from home and I'm watching it 5 to 15-minute sprints before I have to go check something. It's also my wife's birthday, so there's interruptions for stuff going on. So I think I started this movie at like 10:15 and I finished it at 3 something.
Ooh, jeez.
It's like, so that's the disclaimer I'm going to throw out there because I don't think you can like really anything if you're watching it in bits like that. Unless
it's not fair to the
stuff like that. But I agree with Jason. I thought Nick Frost was really good. And there's no way to know what to expect from him because he's done comedy so well. But man, and it's also his size. He's so menacing. It made me think, I mentioned John Goodman before. It made me think of Goodman in 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Except Goodman was amazing. That and Red State, to me, those are the 2 best movies he ever did.
Big Lebowski disagrees.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, God, my favorite movie of all time. You want a fucking toe? I'll get you a toe.
Donnie, you're out of your element.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. So I think he did a really good job. I think everyone around him did. The boyfriend, the fiance, who was just immediately he's the villain. So I think if you went into this movie not knowing anything, you might think, oh, this movie's about this douchebag fiance of hers. She's not too pleasant either. I mean, she's nice enough, but I didn't get enough of either of them to really figure them out as characters. I did like the stuff that she was saying in the beginning, and I liked a lot of the stuff in the cab. But Jason, you're right. Once they got out of the cab, it started going this other direction. I was like, oh, what is this movie?
Yeah.
We're going down a haunted road. What is this? And the ending is just, again, I am the same way. I have no idea.
Okay. I was really going to ask you guys, like, do you have any clue what the hell?
I have a theory, but I think it's wrong. But
I have a theory too, but yeah.
Is it wrong? Is any theory wrong?
Okay, so like you guys, acting was great, particularly Nick Frost. Man, as soon as I saw him in the like the thumbnail or the poster, whatever it is, I was like, oh, dude from Shaun of the Dead. And then he was so good at his part, I was like, is this not the guy from Shaun of the Dead? And
how's that possible?
Because I haven't seen really anything that he's been in, and I didn't realize he was that big. But yeah, at first glance, it was very clear to me. But then, I thought, man, this is really he's good. The dialogue is well written and well executed. And then things fell apart for me when I remember thinking at one point, you know what? If this would have been stuck to just being a thriller, that it probably would have been, for me anyway, would have been a much better movie, because everything else was just like, oh yeah, that's right. We haven't seen the lone chick in the freaking ghost makeup on the side of the road with her in her nightgown. It's like, I can't, that's one of the, I feel like that's one of the most, she might as well have had a sheet over her head with holes where the eyes go, because we've seen this just 100 different times. And I appreciate that they were trying to do something different by having the whole like kidnapping scenario. But when they, but when they had this other thing, and then they brought this stuff that's been done to death, for me, man, it just fell apart. And yeah, the ending, there was a little bit of twist in there toward the end that I thought was like, oh, okay, that's kind of neat. But as far as like there was a point where I was like listening to some of the info dump type of things, and then I just I didn't tune out, but I didn't try so hard to understand, because I just didn't care anymore, because I was like, I don't really care much for this movie. Didn't like Jason. I didn't hate it. I did enjoy the first like 15-20 minutes and where it was headed, and then the rest of it with the ghost, and just I just fell apart for me, and I just didn't care about it anymore. Plus, some of it was kind of funny to me, because I did learn that men can't take tasers very well at all, but women sure can.
Especially pregnant women.
Because that dude was over.
Yeah. What?
He was having seizures and freaking heart attacks, and
I thought I missed something. Did he have a medical condition that caused that seizure? Or that was
dude, I don't know. I don't know.
Not long before that, he was okay. He was like, "No, I'm just pretending. It's fine." And then all of a sudden, he wasn't fine. I'm like, "What happened?"
All right, thank God, because I was just trying to figure out, I'm like, why is he having a medical emergency now? Is he diabetic? Is he crashing? Does he have epilepsy? Why is he doing this?
I don't know.
Right.
I did not understand that at all. And she, by the way, she ate the taser like a pancake, like no problem.
Yep, like a rusty pancake.
Oh God. Yeah, I do want to say again though, I really thought Nick Frost was good in this. When he was shitting on that guy, he was being funny and menacing at the same time.
Yeah,
which
and endearing sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think that's easy to do, to kind of hit all of those aspects of a character in the same lines. Like he hit it all. His size was intimidating until he got out and started walking around, and then it was like, I was actually concerned for his health. I was like, dude,
yeah, he can't walk.
You don't look well.
Like with them giant pants.
He's a big dude in this, but his acting was excellent. It
really was surprisingly.
Yeah. I just felt like the story really didn't land. But.
Do we want to do spoilers? I don't have a bell.
I can hit my beer can. Oh, never mind. That's not a good one.
I also have some Good Sense pain relief caplets.
Yeah, there we go.
I could tap my sobriety chips together. But
there you go. Hey, can I have one?
Sure.
Can you spare one?
You get one, and you get one, and you get one.
All right.
I think that thing would bounce off my alcohol force field right back at you.
Take it back, jerk. All right. So, who wants to spoil what first?
I don't know if I could.
The twist that I was talking about that I thought was like, okay, that's kind of neat, was the fact that she wasn't pregnant, which is something she probably should have said a long time ago when she figured out what was going on. But I did like the fact that she used a fake pregnancy to keep herself alive by saying, I could feel the baby kicking. But then when it came out that she's not even pregnant, I was like, okay, that's it didn't redeem the movie, but it was like, okay, there's something a little cool right there. That
meanwhile, she was pregnant. She was so early on, she could not feel anything kicking.
Yeah, it's the first thought I had. I was like, you don't feel anything.
Little zygote kick.
When it really started to bother me was when they stopped. I think he was checking on the guy, and then she's like, I have to pee. And they're standing there, and she's not cuffed or anything. I'm like, he's got to be at least 350 pounds. If you get 2 steps away from him, you're free. You're free. Just walk into the woods. He's not going to catch you. And that happened several times where she could just get away and she doesn't. And I'm like, what? Stop that. It should have just stayed in the cab. That would have been way more believable. Like when they started fighting and he started to speed up and jerk the wheel around. Like that was good stuff. I like that. That's good thinking.
Yeah.
You get her out, she's untied outside of the car. I'm like, come on. This dude is huge.
By the way, maybe I missed it. When she said she had to use the bathroom and he took her out and zip tied her to the car and gave her the little potty thing, what was the idea about leaving her panties in the street?
I don't know.
I don't know. The only thing I could think of is that they would be found and then I don't know.
Yeah, like I stop every time I see a pair of panties already closed on
That's
the
what
side
I
of
was
the
thinking.
road.
I
Well, I
thought
know
she was
Jet-
leaving a
Jet
trail,
knows.
but I'm like, who would stop and pick that up and be like, I need to turn this into the cops?
Yeah, I know. Ooh, panties.
Yeah, not everybody's Steve Barnard.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be in the woods that's jacking off with them.
And it wouldn't have helped her. It just Barnard's collection would have grown, you know?
Just another set of panties. He's never here to defend himself, but I feel he can sense we're talking about him right now, and he's fine with it.
He deserves all of it.
Pick up his Tentagirl books and Meathead books. Since we're
We
going to
haven't heard from him in a while. Is he locked away somewhere?
He's still roaming free.
Okay, I wasn't
I
sure
can
if they caught
confirm
him
that. Oh man.
When they got to the motel, there was more of why can't you get away? Like, I didn't even understand him taking her there because he chains the cage door behind them.
Yeah.
But you're in a motel where she can go freely into any window or room. How can she not get away?
Well, because he told her, "Don't move."
Oh,
And he walked out of the room.
shit! You're right. He did say that.
Right.
What?
She should have just left the asshole and taken off.
Yeah.
Because you
and
know
then-
he hits her.
for sure.
You just know he hits her.
For sure.
Just
I feel like
anybody who acts the way he did in that restaurant in public, he's a hitter.
Yeah. And he banged the friend that they were at dinner with. Yeah.
He also has
I feel
poor
like-
taste.
I feel like it's unfortunate that everybody definitely brought their A game, but what they were given was just not a well written. Other than the dialogue, was not a well written movie, and it sucks because that even some of these things are still kind of being made because we're at a point I feel like where we need more originality, or you have to flip something so much. Like we just watched Strange Darling, which is just a masterpiece. The way it was written, the way it was shot in weird chapter disorder, and it's not anything that we haven't seen before. But the way they did it is nothing that we've seen before. And so, I would just like to see. That's what I'm always on the lookout for. Is something. Hey, if you're going to give me the same type of thing, you got to really make it different.
Yeah. I also didn't like the ghosts. Like the ghosts look like every kind of ghost I've seen in like really bad movies that you used to get in Redbox.
Yeah.
I like the ghost at the beginning, again, in the first half when I kind of liked everything, because he's kidnapping them, but she's seeing a ghost. So I had no clue where this story was going to go. The problem was when it got to where it was going, I didn't like it.
Right.
But I liked that element it added at the beginning of what the hell is this story? Why? Like, what's with the ghost and the...
It's
And
kind
then
of
just-
surreal in the beginning.
Yeah, it just didn't tie together. And then, okay, so she gets out of the car and goes up to the ghost, and nothing happens to her. And then Nick Frost walks away. Somehow he disappeared by walking away from the car. And then walks up to his car from a different angle and is confused. Gets in his car, starts driving away, hits the woman, and then continues to drive away. What does that mean?
Movie Fanatic, I think, said it before. I thought this is kind of a time loop movie, and you're just repeating the same stuff over and over again.
So that didn't occur to me.
Maybe.
We didn't see the same thing happen over and over, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we got to watch the sequel.
I wondered if
Oh,
maybe
gosh.
he was like his psyche was breaking or something.
It was all a
And
dream.
He was like, yeah, like I didn't know what he was imagining versus not. Like, was the ghost not real, but he was kidnapping a woman? Did he kill his family? And like he was just broken. I had no clue what happened at the end.
Maybe there's something after the credits, and it ends with him in the shower with Bobby Ewing. having consensual man-on-man
Bobby Ewing.
fun time. Who remembers that twist from Dallas 48 years ago?
You're it.
Spoiler alert.
You're the guy.
No, Chad's going to sit there quiet. He remembers too.
I don't.
What? You don't remember Dallas back in the day?
Dude, I remember Dallas. I never saw an episode. And then about 3 years ago, I watched it and watched the first 2-3 seasons. Freaking loved it. It's a well-written show. I really liked it.
It was a great show.
I like that kind of stuff.
Jack and I met
But-
Charlene
But
Tilton.
that I haven't seen.
Yeah, that was well. I was in love with Victoria Principal, but yeah, that was. Let's negate an entire season and just have Bobby wake up like he's in the shower. It was just a dream.
Hey, Donna remembers and Toten remembers. So there you
Yeah, thank you.
I just remember the phenomenon
Lala.
of Who Shot JR. Just everybody's T-shirt and everybody's
Oh,
bumper
God,
sticker
yeah.
and whatever
Who
else.
shot Mr. Burns? G-Max says. That twist is horrible. That was one of the worst twists ever.
Well, we like this twist in this movie so much that we started talking about a different show from 40 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that. It's by the way, it sounds like we're totally crapping on this movie. It's not as bad as we're making it sound. We're just this is the part where we pick things apart if there are things to pick.
The last third, I legitimately did not feel was very good, but because of the story, I thought it was shot well.
Yeah,
We've all agreed the acting was great, and I thought for a movie that 3/4 of it takes place, 2/3, whatever, in a cab, he did a great job shooting this. Like it looked good.
Mm-hmm.
I just the story, the ending did not connect with me in any way, shape, or form.
You think it was crushed, even though this is a small movie with a very small cast? You think it was crushed under the weight of its own ambition?
Maybe I don't know how to interpret this movie, man. That ending blew me away.
It's a tough one.
It's a shame. It looked good. Like I really did think there was a lot of good things to this, but
Yeah,
it's hard to recommend a
ambiguity,
movie when
yeah.
you walk away being like, huh,
What
all
was
right.
that?
yeah, he hit her with the car.
I did rewind that because I thought I missed something. Like, what just happened here?
Well, when Nick Frost escaped by walking away, I was like, what? That's a big man. I think you'd see him.
Yeah,
No, I don't know.
shocked by the size of him. I'm concerned for him.
Honestly, I was too. I hated seeing him like that. I think he's a very talented dude. He was very big here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe he got that way for the role. Maybe he De Niro'd it. So we
Russell
can hold
Crowe
him.
it. Yeah.
Well, no, he wasn't eating for a roll. He was eating rolls,
Yes, he was.
buttered rolls. All right. Do we have anything left in the chamber to shoot at this movie? We're
I
good.
don't.
All right.
No.
So we don't know what next week brings, but I will put it out there that maybe one of the biggest horror movies out there, Heretic, might be something we go see.
Oh, is that coming
Throw
out
it out
this
there.
week?
It's already out. Came
Well,
out
what
on
about-
Friday?
There's something really big coming out in 3 days. What is that?
In 3 days. Not
no
not
idea.
to.
Is that it? No, it's something else. Something I think in 3 days. Something like, yeah, very popular that we would definitely want to see. I
have
feel like
no
it was part of a famous franchise or something. I don't know if it was a sequel or I can't remember.
Hope it's another Wishmaster movie.
No, it's a big deal. It could be Nosferatu, but I feel like it was something else. I don't know. Maybe help me out, chat. I don't know.
Wishmaster 5 has finally dropped.
Woohoo! With an all Japanese sex robot cast.
Yes, I am in.
So we don't know.
We don't know, but I am 100% going to try to get in to see Heretic. I had no I don't even know anything about it. You guys have hyped it for me, so.
I saw one.
I don't know anything
trailer
about it
for
either.
in the theater. Hugh Grant he's supposed to be brilliant in this movie.
I wouldn't have even known he was in it until you said
Yeah,
that.
there you go. That's all I'm telling you. So maybe that's it. We'll find out.
Quite
You'll
possible.
find out sometime. Just keep following the socials.
Yes, I will post it the day before our episode like I did last time.
That's right.
Give everyone as much time as possible to watch it.
All right, everybody. This is a fabulous show. As always, I enjoy being with the two of you guys. I miss Jack,
Yes.
but, he needs a rest. And all of you in the chat and everywhere else, thank you.
Wow,
Thanks
well
for hanging
said.
out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Game over,